What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the first rule breaker. It is kind of the replacement of Scream as such, with some definitely weird stats going on. So we have got Mertens to start with. He is one of the ones that I thought would be the headline, the big player. Obviously, we do have Kane, and we have a whole host of other players coming in as well that we'll be trying to get a review on as quick as possible. We also got an objective. It's the right back from, I think, Leipzig. And then we also have a Naki Williams with a kind of different vibe to him as well. There's two different versions with two different styles of stats that we'll be trying to look at as well, hopefully. That's an 84 and 85 rated SBC, but Mertens is the first one that we're going to be doing. There is 11 in Team 1, and we more than likely will get a Team 2 next week, so we've got even more players, and it seems to be the big thing that they like to do with, obviously, these promos now is 2 weeks of them. They kind of do 1 week, which is normally a good week, and then normally Team 2 is better as such, or has some other players that you think, oh, actually, he'd have been nice in Team 1 as well. But hopefully we do get a moment where we have both of them in packs. I personally haven't seen many packs being opened yet, so I don't know how packable these are. I know if it's very much like the Ultimate Scream last year, they really was very hard to pack. I think it was the only promo that I didn't pack a single card, and it's mainly because we don't have any upgrade packs, we don't have any league SBCs, so you're very limited to what you can actually get. And obviously if you're not saved up any packs, you are more than likely going to get nothing. But let's get into the gameplay, or the stats first, and then into the gameplay. So looking at Mertens, he is coming in at 460 at the moment. Let me just refresh before we get into it. He's actually 497 now. I don't know if he's kind of going up and down. It is a bit of everywhere, and I think people are kind of realizing it's probably a little bit harder to pack than most. He is an 87 centre forward. He's got 88 pace, 90 shooting, 84 dribbling, and 81 passing. We will have a look at the comparison between the gold card and the 87 as we get into the end review, as you can then see footbin screen. In terms of his just traits and everything like that, he is a 4-star. He is only 5'7", so quite a small player, very agile on the ground, and he is right-footed with a low defensive work rate and a high attacking. In terms of traits, we have got, if I can click it correctly, we have got outside of the foot trait, we have got flair, finesse shot, and set play specialist. So some really good traits coming off him as well, which is always very nice. And it'd be nice to see kind of like even special cards getting more traits. Maybe we get an inform with he finesses it a few times, we get a finesse trait on him. Just an idea. I don't know if that is something they're looking to do, but it would be a nice idea to kind of bulk up traits as well, depending on different special cards. That would always be something quite nice, which hopefully they bring forward. He's got 92 acceleration with 84 sprint speed, 93 attacking positioning with 92 finishing, and 88 shot power. I do know that his dribbling has taken a hit from his other version, which is weird to think because the stats are kind of a bit weird, and they've kind of moved around a little bit. Like, for instance, the gold card has 81 composure. This Mertens only has 76, and whether they're going to be changing like Ultimate Scream further down the line, that's something I haven't personally seen as of yet. But he does have 89 agility and 87 balance with 81 reactions, 84 ball control, and 83 dribbling. So that is kind of like the downgraded stat, if anything. And I think that's one thing that not necessarily will massively affect him, but I think that was a really nice point that I found with the gold Mertens. I really enjoyed that card and thought he was very quick to move on the ball, even though personally this one is quite quick, and it's something we'll look at in the gameplay. In terms of movement, it is strange kind of seeing all the stats kind of moved around. I know Kane has gone from like 50 something pace to 80, 90. That is going to be insane to see. In terms of everything else, then we've got 78 stamina. Not the greatest, but I feel like it still can work. 40 strength, 64 aggression. Wasn't expecting too much with a 5'7" striker. And personally, you can be looking wing. You can be looking as a kind of like a mid, a centre forward, more than a striker on his own. I feel like you definitely need to play him with somebody else, just because he is quite a small player. He gets bullied quite a lot, and that is something that you definitely want to kind of discourage as such. In terms of chemistry style, we're looking at mainly engine to get that pace up, to get the dribbling up, and also to get the passing up. We've already got 90 shooting. It is a very nice stat to kind of get him, and it puts him as a good cam centre forward, 89 and 88. If you're looking for more finishing, it will take him up to an 85 striker and a 90 cam, but then you don't get no pace and no more passing. So it depends what you want. If you want him as a pure goal scorer slash kind of like person who's just going to run past everybody, then finisher might be a nice way to go. I feel like that's going to be the perfect chem style for kind of literally like how it says finishing. Going to score goals. It gives him great agility balance. Unfortunately, we get no more composure on him, which I think personally is a big deal as we're going into the teams in the next couple of weeks where players have got a really nice team, a really meta team. You always need to counteract that with a good team yourself. Whether 76 composure going into elite, going into top 100 is going to be enough is always the question, and I think that's going to be an interesting one throughout the whole of this year because we have no chem style to increase it. But anyway, let's get into some gameplay and see how he did. So the one thing with Mertens is he is very quick. 5'7", he feels like he's kind of moving at a next level pace. We managed to get around a keeper and he scores quite a few goals for me as well. Really good at kind of getting around defenders. He is small, so he's kind of a little dinking and weaving really. Decent pass on him. I thought like he was actually really nice on the pass and really could kind of move the ball with his feet. We try and get it across there, which I tried to pull it back a little bit more than I probably should. But he's always using players. He's always getting out wide and he's making them runs, and that's something that I love in this FIFA is the amount of runs that we get. Lovely little kind of shot across goal there. I find that to be quite a meta shot at the moment. Really nice to kind of beat the keeper, even if they do move him, or even if they kind of you get a goal and then they start moving him. You can always then go near post. You hold the shot. He can then go ahead. In terms of dribbling, I didn't really notice too much different in terms of his gold card, but there is always going to be some sort of setbacks. The composure for me is a big downplay for me, and as we get a volley here, lovely hit on the ground past the keeper, but the composure will always be an issue because it's always in the back of your mind personally that he only has 76, and for me in a couple of weeks that's not going to be enough. That really isn't going to be enough. We managed to keep that one in and unfortunately just manages to spanner it wide, but overall I was very happy with him. Is he worth 495k? Obviously it was 460 when I started this. I probably wouldn't pay that for him. I would actually rather go for his gold card. And I think that's going to be some of the issues with some of these players. I feel like Harry Kane has definitely had a nice boost, even though I feel like 90 pace will not transpire into the card, if you get what I mean. It's still going to feel not necessarily rubbish, and this is a cracking goal, lovely step inside, but it's not going to seem like he is a 90 pace striker because the animations are completely different, and unless they completely change the animation of the card, which I just don't think they'll do, there may be issues. And same with Mertens. He was already quite a nice meta card. Giving him more and taking away some other stats just isn't going to cut it sometimes. Let's go into the end review and see what I thought about him though. So as we can see with Mertens, we will try and just redo that 497. So he has gone up by literally nearly 30k by the time doing this video. And I think he will kind of drop. I'm not too sure of the packs. I haven't seen if they're lightning rounds or anything. But I still feel like he'll be this sort of price because he's brand new. It's a first rule breaker card. Or the first team of the rule breakers. Everything's new. It's the first promo. Everyone's going to be overhyped. For me, I just think if you look at the comparison, we get 2 pace, 8 shooting, which is a cracking upgrade for him. 5 dribbling is kind of downgraded from the new card. We get a plus on the passing, a plus on the physical, and a plus on the defending. So we're mainly focusing really on the shooting and the dribbling. Is it worth losing 5 dribbling for 8 shooting? And some will argue, yes, of course it is. He is a 90 shot card now. He is 87. He's practically the same sort of card, but for 34k, you can just put a finisher on him. If we look at this gold card right here, we whack a finisher on him, turns him into an 89 centre forward, 88 cam. We already have pretty good dribbling right there. Pace, 90 acceleration for me at this stage is really up there. And I really think that is the case. No real physical increase as we saw. Passing wise, it's on the ropes a little bit, but I feel like it's still usable compared to an extra nearly 450k nearly to get a promo card. That's it really. It's a promo card. It's not necessarily the player himself, but the design is what's given him that massive increase. He is just new in packs, so obviously his price will be massively inflated within the first 2 hours of him actually being out, and more than likely we'll see him drop as we go through the week, which is inevitable, to be honest. He's not really going to hold his price there, but I think for me, it's a nice promo idea, but for some cards. For Mertens, for me, I just don't see the kind of attachment to losing so much dribbling to gain shooting that necessarily can be done with finishing. Yes, you get a very nice shooting boost with this card, and it turns him into a 90 and 88 in terms of cam. But for the price that you're paying, for me, it's just not worth it. He's a nice card. I've gave him a 9 out of 10 because his ability on the ball is fantastic. But what stops him being a 10 for me is that price. We've got cracking links. We've got Insigne, who obviously will get a special card at some point. He normally always does. Dybala is a weak link. We've got Ronaldo as a weak link. We also have plenty of other players. If we have a look quickly at the links, we've got Lukaku. Lukaku is a striker for Belgium. Cracking link right there if we get a few good special cards. We have Nainggolan as a special rule breaker strong link. Lozano is obviously Napoli, as he's meant to be quite good actually. You whack a finisher on him, you've got a nice card as well. We have Osimhen as the partner in crime, another striker, and plenty of other players as we go forward. There's a lot of Belgiums. We've got De Bruyne, we've got Hazard. There's a decent amount of links there. Obviously no icons of Belgium. And let me know down below, is there any icons that we're missing from Belgium? I personally don't know any, so let me know down below what you think. But in terms of this card, for me, I wouldn't waste my money on him. I'd be looking at somebody else. And if you are desperate to get a Mertens, just go pick up his gold card. I feel like it definitely will be a much better route to go. And that's about it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.